Bullying seems to be the cornerstone of the Trump leadership approach right now. They're pushing around everyone from major organizations down to everyday people who dare to question them. Jasmine Crockett stands out as one of the bravest voices challenging them, and just days ago she got warnings from Pam Bondi and Trump himself simply for speaking out against Elon Musk. Now she's facing yet another round of legal pressure from Trump's team just because she firmly stood up to a supporter of his movement. It's completely absurd how Trump's team is trying to put the fear in folks to keep them quiet when faced with criticism. We'll explore this whole situation and the glaring double standards throughout. But first, I'd really value if you could give this video a thumbs up. And if you find our channel worthwhile but haven't joined us yet, please click that subscribe button. It truly boosts our reach and means so much to me. Before we dive into what's happening with Jasmine Crockett, I want to talk a bit about speaking up against power in this video, including a powerful moment we witnessed tonight from Sen. Cory Booker in the Senate chamber.
And if I think it's a call for our country, I have to ask myself how I'm living these words. So tonight, I rise with the intention of getting in some good trouble. I rise with the intention of disrupting the normal business of the United States Senate for as long as I am physically able. I rise tonight because I believe sincerely that our country is in crisis. And I believe that not in a partisan sense, because so many of the people that have been reaching out to my office in pain, in fear, having their lives upended, so many of them identify themselves as Republicans.
As Senator Booker announced, he's staying on the Senate floor tonight, likely into the early morning and throughout tomorrow until he physically can't continue. This is exactly the kind of dedication we need from Democrats, treating this constitutional emergency and attack on our democratic principles with the seriousness it deserves. Regular people are taking to the streets in protest, which I'll discuss more later in this video, but we equally need our elected representatives stepping up in similar ways. This is especially important when we see the Trump administration working so hard to silence our right to protest. We witnessed this with that bizarre video that set up the threat against Representative Jasmine Crockett from Pam Bondi, which I want to show you right here.
I've made it clear, if you take part in the wave of domestic terrorism against Tesla properties, we will find you, arrest you, and put you behind bars. Today, I'm proud to announce that the Department of Justice has unsealed federal charges against another Tesla attacker. We've charged Cooper Frederick in the firebombing of a Tesla dealership that occurred on March 7th in Loveland, Colorado. All of these cases are a serious threat to public safety. Therefore, there will be no negotiating. We are seeking 20 years in prison. The crime was committed in Colorado, and thanks to the great investigative work by the FBI, the defendant was arrested in Plano, Texas. Let this be a warning. You can run, but you cannot hide. Justice is coming.
Donald Trump isn't worrying about grocery costs, your housing payments, the financial markets, or the rising prices everywhere. His focus is making sure Elon Musk's companies and feelings stay protected and cozy. Pam Bondi is basically warning that anyone who dares criticize a Tesla could face consequences. There was even a woman Elon threatened to investigate just for giving the middle finger to a Tesla. Now they're apparently going after Representative Jasmine Crockett simply for responding to questions from the press. It's the newest example of their intimidation tactics, with the Department of Justice targeting Crockett for the most ridiculous reason imaginable. To really understand how absurd this is, you need to see this clip.
Hello, Congresswoman.
Horse manure. Well, that sounds like fun.
Wait, Congresswoman Crockett.
But it sounds...
Congresswoman Crockett, you were recently on a Tesla takedown call calling for violence on the 29th. Would you like to clarify your comments?
As you can see.
Congresswoman, will you condone violence at the Tesla?
So you watch that video and think it's pretty harmless, right? Jasmine Crockett walking, reporter gets in her personal space. She gently pushes the camera away. Nothing major happening. But that's not how Donald Trump and Pam Bondi see it. Jasmine Crockett's attack on right-wing reporter under review Trump DOJ official claims. Acting U.S. Attorney for Washington, D.C., Ed Martin, made it clear Monday he would consider charging Jasmine Crockett with a crime after a MAGA podcaster claimed she assaulted him on Capitol Hill last week. This so-called questionable incident, which was neither questionable nor an incident, happened Tuesday when Charles D.S., a reporter connected to right-wing figure Laura Loomer, shoved his camera phone into Crockett's face. In the clip shared across MAGA circles, the Texas Democrat simply appears to reach out her hand to cover the camera, while continuing to walk and chat with a Republican senator before the video suddenly cuts off. As I've said from day one, no one is above the law, except for January 6th insurrectionists, Martin stated Monday on X. The matter is currently under review by law enforcement authorities. If it's referred to the U.S. Attorney's Office, we will follow proper procedures to determine whether charges are appropriate. His statement follows DS's announcement on X about a very big development Monday after filing a police report with Capitol Police claiming assault, battery, and attempted theft of his cell phone. "I just left a formal meeting with United States Capitol Police," DS told his followers in a video shared by Martin. "I had to fill out some forms, talk about the horrific incident where Congresswoman Crockett reached for my phone, scratching me just because I asked her a question about her involvement in a Tesla takedown. So now my formal complaint has officially been moved to the United States Attorney's Office in Washington, D.C., and we'll see what happens next." Really? Donald Trump's DOJ and attorneys are threatening to arrest and charge Jasmine Crockett because she pushed a phone out of her personal space? Oh, this must be the worst assault ever witnessed in our Capitol. Oh wait, what about January 6th? Of course they don't care about that. All they want to do is intimidate people, which is exactly what happened last time Jasmine Crockett was legally threatened by the Trump administration just for speaking out against Tesla. Remember that clip right here?
So Pam Bondi, if you have an issue with terrorism, maybe you should talk to your boss about locking back up those guys that he let out that participated in January 6th.
When Pam Bondi, though, says, tread carefully, what does that even mean?
Yeah. All it means is that she's attempting to get me to say, oh, I'm going to be scared and I'm just not going to say anything, because they are willing to literally break the law. I mean, that's what we've seen them do. They are ignoring court orders. They are ignoring what our own laws are. When we look at things such as impoundment, things like that, this entire administration is rogue. And this isn't about partisanship. I keep trying to tell people that we are living in the time of good versus evil, right versus wrong. And right now, when we are looking at the black letter of the law and they are deciding, I'm just going to ignore it, then they are wrong. That is clear as day. And right now, they are going after anyone who decides that they will challenge them, whether it's the judges that are sitting on the benches, whether it is lawyers that have decided that they were going to represent their clients to the best of their ability, and most of them won against Trump and his administration. Basically, they are trying to get rid of all voices of dissent.
Jasmine Crockett wasn't telling folks to throw firebombs through Tesla windows. And as I always mention, you don't need to do that since they catch fire on their own. She was simply supporting people using their First Amendment rights, while we still have them under this Trump administration to speak out. And that's exactly what Trump fears most: Mia's public protest and people organizing together. I promised to talk more about protest actions, so let's get to that now. The biggest single day of collective action, the largest protest since Trump took office, is happening this Saturday, April 5th. Demonstrations are planned in cities all across America. Trump is targeting our Social Security, Medicare, jobs, and tax dollars. Everyone deserves what they've paid into Mia's, the Medicaid, Medicare, and Social Security programs that keep people alive, safe, and healthy. That's what they're going after, our basic livelihoods. No matter which issues matter most to you personally, they're attacking all of it. We all have something at stake here. The things you care deeply about, that's exactly what Elon Musk, Donald Trump, and congressional Republicans want to take from you. We all recognize this threat, but sometimes I think we forget that we still have power in this fight. We can push back. That's why I want you to join the hands-off nationwide day of collective action. Protest wherever you are, Mia's whatever city, town, or state across the country. I'll include links below this video. Of course, I hope you'll watch until the end to hear more from Senator Booker, but please sign up and get involved. It's crucial that we appreciate the community we have, and I use the word appreciate very deliberately. I know things are tough right now, but there are so many of us who want to build connections and organizing power to fight back. While times are difficult and discouraging, I want us to look around and see how many people just like you are standing up. That's why I'd love to see some of you at these protests. We all need to get engaged. It's exactly what Cory Booker is talking about in the rest of this clip right here.
John Lewis died in 2020, in July, at a time that it was Donald Trump's first term in office. And he did what Congress people did, but he also did some really extraordinary things to fight for health care. My friend Chris Murphy knows about that. He was there when John Lewis did a open Facebook chats, not in this chamber or in the House chamber. He sat on the steps and people were there. I remember when he did a sit-in, they had to shut the cameras off on him. He got in good trouble on the House side, too. And so I start tonight thinking about him. I've been thinking about him a lot during these last 71 days. Get in good trouble, necessary trouble, help redeem the soul of America, and had to ask myself, if he's my hero, how am I living up to his words? I think Democrats and Republicans have made a lot of mistakes. No side has a monopoly on the truth. No side has been perfect servants of this country. But what's happened in the last 71 days is a patent demonstration of a time where John Lewis's call to everyone has, I think, become more urgent and more pressing.
We need people ready to stand up right now. I hope you'll join this effort. I'm definitely going to be part of it. As I mentioned, I've included a link below, not a bunch of different links, just one main one that will direct you to several places where you can get involved in this day of protest against the Trump administration, which I consider disgraceful, unconstitutional, criminal, immoral. I could go on and on with descriptions. We absolutely must push back. We're committed to doing that on this show, and you can be part of that effort too. If you want to support our work, please hit that subscribe button and leave a like on this video. And if you've watched all the way to the end, drop a blue heart in the comments section. Until next time, I'll see you soon.